What you're about to listen to is not an exercise, not a script, and definitely not an intervention. This is just an explanation. It's just a way of noticing what's already true, what you've already done, and what your unconscious is already prepared to install as your new identity, not forced, not instructed, just remembered. So if it feels like something's changing, it's only because that's what naturally happens when truth comes back home. You know, sometimes people ask, how do I actually internalize a new belief? And the answer is almost disappointing in its simplicity. You don't, you remember, you recognize, you rehearse what's already real, until the recognition becomes your default. Think about it. Have you ever effortlessly convinced someone of something, just by believing it deeply yourself? That wasn't influence, that was identity transmitting itself. Just like you've always been doing. When you smile and people mirror it back. When you walk in with calm certainty and tension evaporates. When you frame your own failures as feedback and others start doing the same. Those weren't tactics. They were truth in motion. So this is just a walkthrough of how that continues deeper. Let's say this is only about explaining a process, nothing more. What usually happens when someone upgrades their belief system? How does it tend to unfold when a person installs a new identity without realizing it? Well, they often start by noticing patterns they didn't realize they were running. For example, how they already use preframes every day. Like when you say, you probably won't even notice how easily this clicks before sharing an idea. Or how you ask a question that assumes the outcome. What do you love most about this? Instead of, do you like it? That's preframing. You've always done it. So the mind begins to say, if I've been doing this all along, then this isn't new, it's who I am. And the moment that realization lands, change becomes identity, not an effort, a default. You already mirror language to create rapport. Use vocal tone to calm, energize, or enchant. Shift someone's emotional state just by asking the right questions at the right time. That's not chance. That's embodied influence. Which means right now, all we're doing is wrapping a new frame around what's already installed. You're not learning this. You're becoming aware of what's been running underneath the surface. So, why does this work so effortlessly? Because the subconscious loves to upgrade familiar patterns. It says, yes, this is safe, this is aligned, let's amplify this. So when we subtly shift how you label something from habit to identity, from tool to truth, you stop needing repetition and start building momentum. You already know how to. Guide perception without triggering defenses. Lead people to answers by letting them feel like they discovered it. Use language to rewire an entire conversation with one shift in tonality. You do this already. And so now, we're simply giving it a label, a face, a frame. It's no longer a skill I have, it's who I am. Because identity is the ultimate preframe. Once you believe I'm the kind of person who does this, resistance dissolves, behaviour becomes instinct. So the real suggestion hidden here isn't to act this way, it's to realise you already are. You reframe setbacks without effort. Rewire emotions with breath and awareness. Radiate energy that others respond to without knowing why. This is your operating system. We're just updating the interface. You don't need to uninstall old beliefs. They fade, they vanish. Once the new ones become more useful. Isn't that really what belief is? A useful illusion that becomes real the more you trust it. So if anything starts to feel different, if you find yourself speaking with more certainty, holding more silence, hearing objections differently, seeing patterns more clearly, it's not because you're trying, it's because you're remembering. This is what it feels like when the new operating system turns on, without any need for effort or explanation. And all this This is just the onboarding screen.